Hi, this is Arthur, and this is a summary of the story of the Parade of Providence event released in Genshin Impact version 3.6. The Traveler and Paimon are walking through Sumeru when they bump into an Academia scholar named Wikas. Wikas tells them about the Academia Extravaganza, which is divided into two parts. The first part is the Wisdom Gala, which is a yearly festival where the Darshan set up booths throughout the city. The second part is the Inter-Darshan Championship, where all the Darshan send a representative to compete against one another and is held every 4 years. Wikas asks the Traveler to be a commentator for the championship, and she agrees. They head to the venue where Karina, the organizer, makes a speech discussing the prizes, which includes the right to wear something called the Diadem of Knowledge. The event and its prizes were all sponsored by a researcher named Sachin 20 years ago. Just then, the Traveler sees a vision of a researcher, likely Sachin. No one else can see it. The competitors are then introduced, and they are Tignari, Saino, Layla, Faruzan, Kaveh, and Scaramouche, each representing a separate Darshan. Side note, Scaramouche is known as Hat Guy in Sumeru. They also bump into Dia and Candice. They then begin the challenges. The first round involves catching swift flies, and the second round involves looking for ley line disruptors in the desert. After the two challenges are over, there is no clear winner. The Traveler then meets with Dia and Candice, who say that mercenaries are targeting Sachin, the sponsor of the Inter-Darshan Championship. They speak to Arav from the Matra, who directs them to Alhaitham's house. There they speak with Kaveh, who gives them some of Alhaitham's notes on Sachin. The notes say that while the Academia is charged with managing Sachin's estate and the Inter-Darshan Championship, Sachin is somehow watching things nearby. If the right champion wins, Sachin will bequeath his entire estate to them. This arrangement was made 20 years ago, and Sachin hasn't been seen since. They meet with Arav again, who says that Sachin's son hired the mercenaries. They track down the mercenaries to their camp, where they find Jiwani, Sachin's son. Jiwani confesses that he hired the mercenaries to find Sachin and force Sachin to hand over his estate. Jiwani also talks about how Sachin spent a lot of time going to the desert and researching the Diadem of Knowledge. Arav arrests all of them, and the Traveler is suspicious of the diadem, so goes to look for it. Turns out the diadem is in the Matiima forest, where the third and final round is currently taking place. Since the scores were so close from the first two rounds, the first person to retrieve the diadem and place it on the stand will win. The Traveler heads to Matiima forest, where Kaveh has already placed the diadem on the stand. Just then, Sachin appears as a projection and speaks to Kaveh. Sachin proclaims Kaveh the winner and inheritor of his estate. Sachin goes on to tell his life story. Long ago, Sachin went into the desert and witnessed conflict, violence, and strife among the desert peoples. He spent the rest of his life trying to find a way to solve and end this conflict, but found nothing, as conflict was simply a part of human nature. Faced with this sad conclusion about humanity, Sachin ended his own life. Before doing so, Sachin found the Diadem of Knowledge and placed a fragment of his consciousness into it. Sachin then sponsored the Inter-Darshan Championship in hopes that he could find someone to find the solution he could not. That's why Sachin chose Kaveh, a person who suffers from immense empathy, just like Sachin did. Sachin then asks Kaveh to wear the diadem and inherit his entire estate and research. Instead, Kaveh smashes the diadem on the floor and declares that he has enough problems already and that the estate should go to those in pain. Sachin's projection smiles and disappears. Alhaitham, who is also a commentator, declares Kaveh the winner and successor of Sachin's estate. They later return to the main venue for the award ceremony. Kaveh is declared the winner and directs Sachin's estate to be divided among charitable causes. They end the ceremony, and the Traveler remembers that Sachin's projection mentioned that he left all his research at a place starting with the letter A. They realize that it's probably in Aru village and head over where they find Alhaitham reading Sachin's research. Alhaitham is not sympathetic to Sachin's research and leaves. Nahida and Hat Guy then show up. Turns out Nahida suspected something might be up with the diadem, so she sent Hat Guy to keep an eye on things. Nahida concludes the quest by saying that since Kaveh did not want the research disseminated, she will seal it up. However, she will not destroy the research in case someone wants to continue it in the future and find a solution to Sachin's problem. And that is the end of this quest in this video. If you like what you've seen here, please like, comment, and subscribe.